Hello folks, in this video we're going to be talking about the 5 most impressive anime scenes in terms of animation ever. If you disagree with this list, well you're wrong, because I got the list from this video right here, a highly respectable and trustworthy source. Now the first show that made it onto the list is Nanatsu no Taisai, or the 7 Deadly Sins. And we're not going to be talking about this scene, no not this scene, well that's pretty messed up, but the animation there isn't too weak, not gonna lie. You all know what's good. Meliodas vs Escanor from season 3 of the show. Just take a look at this. I mean, it's no wonder this became a trending topic on Twitter, you just can't take your eyes off this fight. The animation here clearly surpasses that found in other famous scenes, like those from my intro. Now let's dive into the scene and take a deeper look at the 7 deadly frames that cover this entire fight. Now this looks like something that I could draw in paint. Ooh, let's get that smoothness again. Okay, so you're in for a real treat because I got to interview the animators of this fight and ask them some questions. Let's hear the audio. So, Lexman-san, what were you aiming for in this fight?
Well, we were actually aiming to get it released in time.
Fascinating. Anything else?
Well, we were in a very tight budget, so the cheaper the better.
Next on this list of amazing animation moments, we have Naruto vs Pain from the show Boruto Origins. Now the characters Naruto and Pain had very little narrative importance to the overall story. However, this doesn't detract at all from how gorgeous the fight is. Just look at these clips. So here we see Naruto entering his Berserk squirrel mode, and he's very angry at these blocks. Pain's playing Bloons Tower Defense, and Pain does some breakdancing with the blocks. Oh right, this is the famous scene where all the memes celebrating the fight come from. What the is this? I actually also interviewed the animators of this fight back in 2001. I'll play the audio for you now. So, Lexman-san, what were you trying to achieve in this episode?
Well, you see, the character that the protagonist is fighting is called Pain, and that's what we wanted to make people feel when watching this episode.
Wow, that is so deep. So in what way did you think you could achieve that?
Well, ideally, we wanted people's retinas to burn out while watching this.
Brilliant. I guess you wanted people to look like this.
Yes, exactly.
Next up on the list, we have X Arms, a new anime that aired in 2021. And if you haven't seen it, please do. I highly recommend this comedy. Now, the technology employed by animation studios has advanced steadily over the years, making life easier for animators. X Arms is actually the first anime ever produced by the studio Visual Flight, and they knocked it out of the park on their first try. Let's take a deeper look. Brilliant animation will catch the viewer's attention, and what better way to do this than to make them feel like they just took some drugs. Look at this frame. Do you notice something? This character looks like he is 2D, while this character is 3D and has been inserted over the background. Oof, just looking at this makes my head spin. Now, making your viewers trip balls is not the only way to catch their attention. You see, you can also make sure that nothing looks natural. Not the facial expressions, not the running, nor the movements in general. Again, I got to talk to the animators of this beauty to discuss the creative process. Here is the interview audio. So, Lexman-san, how would you describe what you achieved here?
Well, we got a very positive and joyful reception, so I sincerely think that we achieved something brilliant in our first try.
Right, so at any point in the production did you ever get feedback from other animators so you could edit your work?
I'm sorry, feedback? Edit? What is that exactly?
Oh, never mind, it was a stupid question. The next show's animation that I will be discussing belongs to one that is often considered to be one of the most fantastic stories ever told in anime or manga. Now, of course, I'm talking about One Piece, and One Piece truly does excel in the animation department. Now you might be thinking, this guy has to be kidding, right? But you don't know from which angle I'm approaching this yet. You see, what is the goal of animation? Well, generally it's to bring the story to life, make the show look good and attract the viewer's attention. But in the case of One Piece, the goal is to drag out every scene forever. You see, there is a law known as the manga anime chapter delta rate of adaptation law, which states the closer the manga is to the anime, the worse the anime adaptation must become. And this means dragging out everything and adding filler arcs, featuring Bleach. Let's look at a real example. In normal life, if you're about to fall over, maybe you flail your arms a bit, but you fall over in a second or two. But in One Piece, if the anime is getting close to the manga, well, you can't just fall over. You need to practice your backstroke swimming technique for at least 2 minutes and pretend you're a rapper.
Oh no, whoa, no.
All with the aim to give Goto-sensei more time to release the next chapter. So I've explained why this is brilliant. Now let's hear the interview I had with one of the animators of this show.
So, Lexman-san, what is it like to work on the animation for One Piece?
Well, it's so much fun. Time just flies by. One day we're working on one arc, and then 3 years later we're still in the same chapter, you know?
True, I can imagine. So, when do you think you'll be done?
Well, I think we'll be done with the current chapter in the next, 300 to 400 episodes, I'd say.
Yeah, but I meant, when will the whole series be done?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question. The whole series completed? Yeah, I don't understand.
Haha, well, I guess it was a stupid question. To wrap things up, we're going to take a look at an absolute beast of a story. Few shows manage to employ CGI without complaint from fans, but one show did manage to pull this off. Of course, I'm talking about the 2016 adaptation of Berserk. Berserk is known for already having 5 or 6 stellar adaptations, so fans were confused when a remake was announced. However, this confusion dissipated as soon as the show dropped, because again, the studio reached for the skies with this one. I don't think the use of CGI will be achieved on such a skillful level like this again for decades. How will I justify saying that this animation is brilliant? Well, it looks super smooth and natural. Yeah, okay, let's maybe take a different approach. So, instead of making the viewer understand Guts' rage through proper storytelling, the studio decided that it would be way more effective to just put really hideous things on the screen and enrage the viewers that way. I mean, who doesn't feel disgusted when looking at this? Or this? Or this? See? The animators are true masters of conveying emotions, and through this lens, I'm sure we can all agree that this adaptation is simply the greatest of all time. Let's head off to our final interview that I conducted a few years ago. So, Lexman-san, what were your objectives when you started working on this new adaptation?
Well, we wanted to make money, and we also wanted to set a bar for CGI in anime so low that in the future Attack on Titan fans couldn't complain about the CGI Titans.
Well, I'm sure that will work out great. What are you up to next?
We're gonna remake Berserk again.
Ooh, with good animation.
Nah, the anime gods have forbidden a good adaptation of Berserk.
Well, I guess I'll just have to keep on dreaming.
Good luck with that.
Thank you for watching this video, and please remember to like the video and subscribe. Also, let me know what else I should have discussed down below. Cedric, out.